The dude said, I'm going to say something. I got to defend my wife. And then anything beyond that, you're going to be printing dude's face on a T-shirt. Talking about Ray Ray was a good dude. He didn't deserve
What
that.
if your name Ray
I
Ray?
don't fight. It's why I carry. So here's the thing.
So you're going to shoot somebody because they touch your wife?
Yeah, so people always think they're in a situation where they have the upper hand. They can get their hand to all their weapons. I took out my nunchucks, hit the nigga.
Bro.
He wasn't going for it, so then I pulled out my pistol. Let's say you just walk out of a club with your girl. These niggas outside because they couldn't get in. Guess why? Because they got guns,
bro. But these also be the people that's never been in situations. Like everybody can always say what I would have did, what I should have did. It's like watching the running back from the stands. Why he ain't just goddamn run to the outside? It was wide open. You see it's wide open because you looking from up here. He's on the field. He don't know that.
Yeah.
The dude right here said.
But that's because you've never been in that situation. It's easy to say like what you'll do.
The dude said, this is an easy call. All you need to think about is if I get knocked out, who's going to protect my wife from being assaulted?
I think there's your street instincts have to kick in with shit like that. If it's an opportunity for me to, say something or do something, and I see that this may I can control the situation, then yeah. But also I know surroundings and know different situations that I can't. So it's like, you got it, homie.
So I said, I think most men struggle with this, but I understand what she's saying. As men, egos get involved and someone ends up dead. There's a lot of dead men in the cemetery with a bunch of pride and a big ass ego.
And so this is the biggest thing about this. If a nigga see you with your girl and decide to grab her ass, that means that this nigga is ready for whatever you want to bring.
Bro, one, he with the game. Two, he with the shits.
You have to be.
And like I said, in the scenario in my head is you're walking out of a place where you couldn't take your gun. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You just walked out of the club.
Yeah. What?
You just walked out of the club. These niggas outside the club because they couldn't get in because they got their pistols.
And what you know is gonna happen after that? Yeah, fuck, man, you better keep walking. You got it.
At some point, you got that. What I'm saying.
And that shit is hard. That shit hard to do. But like I said, I know mentality. I know when and when I don't have, the upper hand. Yeah.
I told the nigga put me across the table my freshman year of college.
I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting. I'm just fitting. This shit have been on my mind for quite some time. I gotta put the shit on the line. I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting.
So, since y'all here, man, welcome back. Welcome all the way to hell back.
Welcome back, baby.
We appreciate you coming. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate you being in attendance. If this is your first time, or even if it's your second or third, or even if you've been with us from the beginning, man, my name is Byron.
I'm Wallace, baby.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is Dropping Dimes.
You sound like an AAB.
Yeah. You got to say your name.
Yeah.
And I've been here for 2 years.
Literally.
But, man, we appreciate you as always. Thanks for giving us a little bit of your time, letting us into a little bit of your space, just to come and do what we do, man, and that's talk. We always say that.
Good shit, though.
And we talk about some good shit, and we just try to drop a dime or two, something you can add to your tool belt for your life.
Man.
Yeah, put it in your. He said, put it in your piggy bank. That's what we're gonna go with. Put it in your damn piggy bank.
Yeah, that shit add up, bro. Did y'all used to go once your piggy bank got filled? Went to the bank with your pops and cashed it? Nah, I'm sorry. Man, one time I got like $280. He had this gallon jar.
Oh, the big jar.
The 5 gallon.
The shit they used to, the water.
The 5 gallon water bottle. We used to build that bitch up. Like $280. See, a little change can add up.
It's a lot of fucking change. There ain't no little change.
But every time I put it in, it's a little bit. Drop a few dimes.
A lot of change.
Someday you're gonna cash out.
There you go. Wallace says it's a piggy bank. He gonna cash out. Yeah, we're gonna go with that for today, at least for this episode.
Yeah.
So, anybody got anything on your heart, anything on your mind y'all want to talk about real quick before I get into this question of the week?
Speaking of change, I remember one time I had to pay for a field trip, and my mama gave me change to do it. I ain't want to pay for it.
How much was the field trip? Like $5?
Like $5.
Yeah.
She gave me
$5.
like 8 quarters.
She was
Dimes,
testing.
nickels,
She was
like-
testing you, man. See if you could count.
No, that's all we had. We were looking for them bitches.
Count the cushions and
Hey,
shit.
look, they had to get the roaches to pay their rent.
Look, that's what they sacrifice they make, man, so I can go on the field trip.
The sacrifice, if the whole want to call.
You don't even remember what the field trip was, do you?
Don't.
God
But I
damn.
went, but I did not want to pay
Got my
change. She was like,
elbow.
still the same. But you know, shout out to the folks. Oh yeah, my mom said stop talking shit too.
Hey, whenever she down, I'm down. Her.
All right,
She got to stop before I stop.
That
I'm
man
a
just
call.
challenged the man Mo to a
Mama,
fight.
clearly,
To a
right? Damn,
She started. She started
I'm
it.
finna call her. Don't worry about it.
She
So-
started the violence.
Started the violence. So,
I'm nice and wholesome.
This nigga here crazy.
I didn't post last week's question.
I know I was mad,
on
bro.
social media.
I wanted to answer.
Well, you
Get
know,
my
you
Twitter
don't,
fingers going.
you don't want to, like, I don't know. It's just something about encouraging people to pour like they worst moment. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everything out here turned to comedy, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Folk be telling you that they fell off a bed while getting smashed.
Yeah, that was a laughable moment.
I mean,
But-
a lot of
but people
times,
saying,
once you
like-
look back on it,
People look back and be like, you know, it was when my dad died or my mom died. That was the worst moment. You don't want to necessarily pull people back into that space.
I can respect that.
So
You're right.
We'll respect that.
you said, I guess we'll respect that. That's what I really expected from him.
No, I said I will respect it.
No, at first you said, I guess we'll respect that.
Okay, I guess. I guess right
And I
now.
said, you're right. Look at me.
Yeah, that's the growth. That's the growth we were talking about right there,
Man,
man.
he clearly not growing.
I'm going the other way.
Listen,
Growing a set. He's growing a set and using them at the wrong time. So
It became worse.
Fucking with y'all, man.
as you know, we've approached this moment in time where we do the question of the week. And the question of the week is actually talking about, we're going to be talking about something that we saw on social media this week. And it was where the guy, well, most people, if you're on social media like that, you may have seen it, where the guy approached his upstairs neighbor about excessive noise. And they had a few words. Big man came out with some scissors, kind of put him. I don't know if he touched him with him or not, but I know he put him close to. Yeah, he put him close to Buddy's face. And as Big man was walking away, the neighbor from downstairs pulled out his firearm, shot Big man a few times in the back, from what I saw. And then as his son, who was a young adult, looked like kind of in panic mode. Tried to run past, running from him.
Out the house?
No, he was
this was
already out of the house. Everybody was in the hallway, but he was standing here
Next to
the
his
father
dad.
was walking this way.
So somebody
when he started shooting at the dad, he was trying to run away
the
from
bullets.
who the target was.
Oh, okay.
But as he ran towards the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
He turned and shot the son a few times.
7.
Yeah. So 7 times. Killed him. And then the father was like kind of
made sure he killed him.
Yeah, like on some belly crawl. Just trying to get away.
Yeah.
And we couldn't hear any there was no sound attached. So you didn't know what it was saying.
Yeah.
But when they started shooting, they closed the rest of the family closed the door. So I don't know if anything was said, like close the door or what. Yeah, the mom and the daughter were in the house.
Ran back in the house.
So
and the son already got shot.
the son was already he was out. He was
ran
out.
wrong.
Yeah, like he was
trying
out of
to
the
run
apartment.
towards. He was
Like,
trying to run out the way, but he ended up running towards the gunman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then he, as a dad, was kind of like on some belly crawl type thing. He walked over to him, shot him, and essentially made sure he was dead. Yeah. And we were talking about one, if it was accepted. Of course, and I like to me, I'll call it for me. I definitely thought it was excessive for a couple of reasons. One being that big man was walking away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he shot him in the back, and that, like, we know that's some coward shit. Especially, you know, hard. Like, it ain't like you shooting at somebody else and you hit these people in the back by mistake. You shot this man walking away on purpose.
Yeah.
And you knew what it was. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gonna do this right now?
Yeah, you can check it out.
Go ahead, bro.
You knew what it was, and you know why you did it that way. You know what I'm saying? To shoot this man's son, or I think it's his stepson. Either way, you shot and killed somebody else.
20 something
Yeah,
years old.
like 27, I think. You shot and killed that man, ended his life.
All over some fucking noise though, and you were wrong. You're in fucking Brooklyn, New York. You're not supposed to have a gun anyway, and you used it in the wrong fucking manner.
And why not just call the police? Let the police come sort it out. Speak to the super of the building. Let the super come sort it
To
out.
make sure, so shooting them, okay, whatever. But to make sure you run up and make sure you end his life, like he walked up and made sure he shot him in the head.
Yeah. When he didn't have to top off that bullet, that let me know he came for action.
Yeah.
He came for action.
Yeah.
He never
He didn't have to do nothing but
he was cocked
take
and
it out,
ready. Yeah, he was cocked and ready. And that says a lot. And then
The ball was a menace though.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
And then you know you're in the wrong, so you go on the run. You go on the run. He ended up, maybe he possibly shot it out with the police. I don't know, but the police ended up killing him.
Yep.
Yeah, they ended his life.
Which I hate.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see him fry. That was some bullshit.
Yeah.
When the guy took the scissors out, that's when he should have shot him.
Yeah, if there was a moment.
But I mean, but you're not supposed to have a gun anyway, so
Damn.
you know.
Yeah. If there was a moment, a clear and concise moment when it almost would have made sense, that would have been that moment. Yeah. So we were talking about, I know you and I feel the same about it. But I did see other people commenting under it, like, oh, this still could be self-defense. I'm not sure what they saw.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything that said self-defense at all. Like I said, big man was walking away. In my mind, even if he's saying, bring me my gun.
Yeah. That's why I really want the audio. Because I'm like, what did he say in that instant to just make him kill this man or shoot him? Because he was walking off.
Yeah.
But even if he's saying, let me go get my gun, you're still wrong. Because when he says that, you have an opportunity to leave.
Walk away. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So no matter if you threaten me or whatever, right? And I'm
going to the trunk.
And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting on you, and I kill you, like, you know, why didn't you just leave?
So think about a different picture, and this is just something I've heard of. Is like, we got an issue on a basketball court, and I tell you, I'm going to the trunk.
Going to the trunk, get my gun. I'm shooting all you motherfuckers.
Okay.
And everybody, like growing up, everybody be like, I'm not gonna let you get to the trunk. That's the only thing, and I understand that, but like seeing it happen, you don't understand. You think this is what should happen. Let me get away from this situation.
But you got to know the law, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
But the people that we were talking about on the basketball court don't know, or don't give a fuck.
Don't give a damn, yeah. So there's plenty of like threats and shit, and that's cool. Shit, what you going to the car for? Shit, we can fight, right? The only reason you should be going to the car is if I got a gun.
Well, he saw that he had one.
Yeah, but even with that, right? All right, cool. Now it's just gonna be what it is, or I'm just gonna leave the situation because according to the law, I can't shoot you
in the back.
Like you walking away, whatever the fuck you gonna say you're going to get.
I was about to say, but I also can't shoot you because you're saying what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
because you might not have shit. You might. Wait till I get back.
I'm going to my trunk. You come back with a tie.
Close the door.
That nigga might be going on.
You come back with a tie.
That nigga got a gun.
Yeah.
Or not come back at all. Like, nigga, You ain't never been in a situation where you had to get yourself out of because you knew you was outnumbered or something. All right, I got y'all. Hold on. Man, fuck that. These niggas, hey, I ain't coming back enough. These niggas crazy. I ain't finna jump me.
Nah, I ain't been in.
I'm just saying. You see what I'm saying?
He ain't lying.
At all. But I'm just saying, if you were, it's like, what if that was the possibility? Like, man, I'm not going back out there. I'm finna call the police on this nigga. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's
I know he got warrant.
Everybody ain't got that quick thinking.
And he a felon.
Remember the Kevin Hart shit? He was like, man, I get into it, nigga. I told nigga, don't make me pop the trunk. He's like, what you got?
What, you got a car seat?
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's a lot of niggas. You know what I mean? It's just like,
it's an empty
baby, let me get out this situation. Goddamn, So
create some space.
It could be that.
What do you think gets a man to react the way that
the gunman
reacted?
I don't. It has to be what you said.
I think they had.
But like even
there were a number of times that they had words about the excessive noise.
But to shoot him when he's walking away is my curiosity. We'll never know now.
Yeah,
I think I think when Bruh pulled the scissors on him, from what I just saw, Bruh didn't realize he had the scissors to bring him to his neck. So in his mind, he could have felt punked in the moment. Like this brother could have put a knife.
This brother
could have put a knife to my neck and killed me. Now I'm all this shit and fuck this shit. And he walks away. Nothing. I'm not gonna support what this man did at ounce, but I'm just trying to get to like what would you be thinking? Because if somebody threatened your life in an instance that you didn't realize and you had something, I can see it be like, this motherfucker just could have took my life. Fuck, now you got to have a different set of thinking to get past that. But it could have triggered an emotional response of he could have took my life just now, and I wasn't even ready for it. He just punked the shit out of me.
I think it would have had to be, I'm about to go get such and such.
I agree
because that's all I can.
Yeah,
because the way the interaction went, and then for you to wait until he walked away to shoot him. That's all I could think about.
The only thing when I
the wife stopped him, the wife brought him back in the house. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shout out to her.
When I saw it, I thought he might have said, "Go get my gun." I thought he told his old lady that.
Oh, he said, "I'm going to get."
But to me, it's like he wasn't taking steps. He wasn't walking back towards the door. He was walking, but it wasn't like I'm going to get my gun type of walk, right?
I'm going to get my gun a little different.
Yeah, like I'm going to get my gun versus hey.
You got a little skip on that motherfucker.
Yeah, like, hell yeah, bro.
Skip though? No,
hell yeah.
It's a skip.
And especially because you feel like you about to have the upper hand. But like that felt like go get my gun, and I can take my time getting there because they gonna bring it to the door anyways. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Again, all of this, like all this part, is just us speculation.
But you just still want to all the times that we say. We want to prepare ourselves for situations. This is talking through what we possibly could go through or experience, and then how to make sure we make the right decision in that situation.
I do that shit a lot when I see in situations, and I be thinking about the craziest shit anyway. Like I want to try to put myself in the position to like, okay, how would I handle this?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But shit, that was crazy. I don't know. It probably shouldn't even got to. I don't know because I'm still a little. My attitude could be crazy sometimes.
Somebody come to your house. You living on the second floor. Somebody from the first floor come to your house 6 times, and they come in there and they knocking on your door and saying, "Look, you being too loud." You don't feel like you're being too loud. After the 6th time, how do you feel?
If I'm being if he says I'm being too loud,
if he say you being too loud.
Okay, so in that situation, he was like, we got kids. He was trying to just let them know what's happening. I'm gonna try to reinforce my household to, hey, listen, this man that came up here 6 times. We gotta try to just keep it down, right? The best we can. I'm gonna also explain to him, look, man, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. I got 2 5-year-olds. They wake up, they go crazy, but I got you. I appreciate you coming up here instead of calling the police. Yeah. Whatever, right? But within that, It depends on how that conversation goes.
Because if he call your
but the
kids
thing-
some badass motherfuckers,
Or that ain't bad. Or it's just, hey, fuck, nigga, you need to get your whatever.
yeah.
So
I'ma still be stuck at the fuck, nigga. I ain't heard nothing else after that.
the biggest part of that to me is now we're at time number 6, and so now let's add on to that scenario. You at 6, you know your kids ain't doing what these niggas are saying you're doing. Those were adults living in that apartment,
Yeah.
right? So
But no,
That
the
we
captain
saw.
said,
Yeah.
the captain, when I read it, it said he has younger kids.
okay,
Yeah.
So let's say now you had a situation. Literally, we just walking, but now they so amped up, everything just
Everything
pissing off,
is- yeah.
right? So now you like, bro, like you at number 6, I'm like, nigga, them kids is asleep, nigga. We just walking.
There's
Take your
nothing,
goof ass back downstairs,
Or-
and that's how that get amped.
But what
you know
does
what I'm saying?
I about to say? Where does that go?
or
Yeah.
not, or explain it. Say, I understand you're on the bottom, level. Just, I don't know, bro. Call the police. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we doing the best we can, right? And then if that goes to a certain way, then I don't know. I don't know.
It's a tough call.
know.
It's a
I'm
tough
not a
call.
good person.
It's tough to put yourself in them shoes, man.
I don't know.
Because it's like because you don't know what the conversations have been. You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you feel like, because a knife to the throat is a threat to your life, do you feel like that gesture would trigger something inside of you?
But we don't know what he was saying.
For sure.
At that
But
moment,
yeah, for
yes.
sure.
Shit. I didn't get one.
Delivery.
Delivery.
The food here. All right, cool. We're gonna pause and get the food.
All right,
Oh.
we'll be back. We're gonna put up a commercial here or something. Da da da.
And we're back from our commercial break.
Yep.
Da da da.
So
Was that the Mac? You gonna get sued?
No.
That wasn't the McDonald's.
No, it was a
Nah,
little.
not that time.
The key was a little high.
All right.
but I think we all pretty much agree it was a heinous
Heinous, man.
heinous crime, man, heinous act. But I think it's hard to just say what we would have done had we been in
for sure.
the shoes of the different people
Either
that happened
person,
in that
any
situation.
person.
Big man, the shooter, or even the kid, because it's like you could be like, well, where? Like, why was he running towards him? Where do you run? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was saying.
yeah, like where do you run in that situation? Do you run back towards the house and put everybody else in danger? So I think it was a whole bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but realistically,
I think this is valuable to talk about it though, because like we get to the person that's talking or thinking through it thinks about what would get them to that level, and then hopefully as you think through it, now I can make a better decision if I ever get to that level or to that space that I think that would make me get there. So it's just increasing your threshold of resistance from a heinous act.
and also just sometimes just hearing certain situations can open your mind up to like how you may maneuver, or how you maneuver differently, or how you maneuver. Period.
Try to learn from other people's mistakes.
Absolutely.
Man.
Like sometimes you don't got to touch the
Hell
stove.
nah,
You can see somebody else touch it and learn from that burn. You know what I'm saying? So now that we got through that,
You be having one hitters, man. Learn from that burn. I feel you.
now that we made it through that, and that it really wasn't the question of the week, but I think it was something that was really pressing on our minds.
That was.
Man, we want to get into this week's topic.
Tough topic.
And it's a tough topic, and it was something I got in the inbox, and I felt like it was something good because we kind of dance around it, but never actually just flat out touch on it, and that's male vulnerability. And we talk about these safe spaces and how to create them, or how we want these safe spaces created for us as men, but we never talk about what the actual act of being vulnerable looks like
Or feels like for us.
or feel like. Yeah.
Like first of all, shout out to one of our longtime guests for even giving us this topic, because like for her to have seen us grow and us know that we haven't really dove into it, it was good for her to tell us like, though, this is a topic y'all really need to get into and dive into. So
Yeah,
we
and
appreciate y'all
and I think,
for all your input.
Like she and I had a conversation about an experience that she had. I ain't gonna go too far into it, but we had a conversation about an experience,
Bro,
and
what the fuck are you looking at, bro?
and it was where
Not much.
it was where somebody had a vulnerable moment and shared some information with somebody, and then they used it against them.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily used against them, but it was kind of thrown out there in a way like "fuck him," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that in itself is one of the biggest reasons why men
Nigga don't open up.
open up. They don't have those moments with a lot of people. They don't share because they have had moments where it has been thrown back in their faces. Sometimes,
And that's usually
They
when
don't
that
take long.
relationship or friendship ends right there.
yeah, exactly.
Or just takes a turn.
Yeah, it could definitely make you look at the person different.
Feel differently about them.
But also, I think it does start to end there, whether you admit it or not. You like.
Is there no coming back from it?
I don't want to say that because I think it becomes a trust thing.
Yeah,
And we've talked about trust.
that's
Like
it.
trust is lost at buckets, but gained back in drops, right?
Yeah.
So I
for
think it takes a minute to get back
My
to a
bucket
place
big
where
as fuck, because them drops gonna take you a lifetime.
it possibly, you know,
It
what I'm saying?
possibly could.
Yeah, shit. It depends on how big that bucket was, right?
He's
So I think I definitely think that's a part of it, but I think even subconsciously you say to yourself like, I'm not telling you a motherfucking thing again. You know what I'm saying? So whether you say we're done here, when you say I'm not sharing anymore, you've kind of taken out a portion of the
relationship.
while we're here.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna have to be done, bro. Because I'm not telling you nothing anymore. Like, no,
yeah, that's
'cause
tough. That's a tough call.
I told you like what I ain't told nobody else this type shit, right? So, and for you to bring the shit back, that
Use
shit,
it against
man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like fuck you,
So
your mama, your sister, your dad.
Do
everybody.
you recognize as the receiver when you're in, if the person doesn't say, I'm being vulnerable, or this is something I never told somebody, do you recognize when you're in a vulnerable conversation with somebody?
I think so. I think it's presented that way. I don't think nobody's just talking to you and you be like, oh, are they being vulnerable? Like they kind of let you know, like, hey, this is some shit that, you know, whatever. So you know.
I think the mature person probably does, but I've been in quite a few conversations because everybody want to confide in me.
I don't know why. All right. But okay.
Yeah, you definitely know why. But
Okay.
I feel like, especially younger people, they just sometimes when they get comfortable, it comes out. And I think if you recognize that that's a vulnerable conversation, you should treat it as, I've used this word before, as sacred. Mm-hmm. Because not only is your relationship in the balance in this conversation, their relationships moving forward are in the balance. Because when you've been abused in your vulnerable space, it becomes a scar that you never forget,
that
and everybody else has to deal with it until it's been healed and skin graft and whatever to be repaired, which takes a lot of work and a lot of time.
So I got a question. Now, this leads to, do you give people trust in the beginning or do you make them earn your trust?
So one question I want when we started talking about this was I wanted to know what makes you feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable. Is it something that's built up over time, or something that they present in the moment? Because, like I told you, people feel real comfortable with me. That doesn't mean we've had years to build this opportunity for vulnerability. It's just like they feel comfortable. What makes you feel comfortable to be vulnerable with who you are?
I think it goes back to the conversation that we had, where the safe space is created, where I've given you. Sometimes people give you tidbits of information to see how you handle it.
For sure.
If you mishandle it, we're done here.
We know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not done.
Yeah,
Just,
it's not done.
I just know you.
Yeah,
I know where to put you.
I know where to put you. I know what box to put you.
I know what circle you in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can handle it that way. Yeah, swallow over there. So I can handle it. Pause. My bad. Damn. So I can handle it that way, or it could be like where I watched you maneuver in your life outside of our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing how you handle information that's been given to you by other people.
Yeah.
Like, did you come to me with the information?
Man, that's big.
Or also, how open are you with me? If I see that you've created a space, or you feel safe enough to talk to me, I feel like I could possibly give it to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna still watch those first two things.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like, okay, they feeling comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, they share with me. Yeah. And I know we ain't been doing this the longest, but I've noticed that we have a certain it still comes down to your discernment too. I think discernment is huge. Just going through life. You know what I'm saying? But I think discernment is a big one in that. But I think once a safe space, that little force field of safety is around both of y'all, I feel like you like, I can get them a little something. And then back to B, where I give you tidbits and see how you handle it. Like, don't give me all them. Because the first time I get one of those, I'm like, oh, that was too much. Never again. That was small, so I ain't on the.
But to me, I think there's a responsibility, because people do give me them, oh shit, I don't know if I want to be in this. But I try to think about, like, how is this going to affect, this is a young man. How is this going to affect how he communicates moving forward? So that's why y'all see me stuck in conversations for a long time, because it's like, I'm digital. Come on, man. We ain't saying no names today. But I
say names every week.
What are you talking about today?
Not today. Because it's vulnerability.
All right.
But look, that's why, because I'm like, I recognize this dude is in a space that he's being open and vulnerable. I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give him what I got.
But some people just do that shit with a lot of people too, though. So.
And I don't know that.
Yeah.
But it's my responsibility to make sure I don't hurt that piece of you, so you don't not open up, and then it becomes an issue later on.
Yeah. So now about the vulnerability aspect of it for yourself, like, what does that look like for you? Like, what does being vulnerable look like?
Because I can be a very guarded person. I wasn't, and I'm gonna be vulnerable with y'all and y'all. I wasn't a cool kid when I was young. So
we heard.
Really?
Surprising, right?
I saw it in the yearbook.
Most likely to be not cool. But
stuck in 10th grade.
Oh my God, bro. This man crazy.
But when I was young, and I would try to give a little bit of myself to people who were about that cool shit, and then they would throw it to somebody else or make me feel small because of whatever. I developed into a person who, like, I'll listen to you, but I might not give you a whole lot of me.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, it takes a little bit of time, but I think I've gained discernment through life of seeing how people are. And my thing is, I'll see how you treat other people's whatever. And then I'll be like, all right, because it's a group of people right now in my family, in my life right now, that consistent in my life. But I'm not going to open up to them, because I know I told them everything that you tell me about people I have never asked about, tells me I can't be open with you.
I gotta
Or what
hold
if
this
they
against
just
you.
trust you enough to just get it off?
No, I watch them in every state. They tell every bro. I be like, nobody asked
It's the
you.
whole thing about like
You
if you
know
tell a
Uncle
person a
Fred
secret,
foot,
you know they're gonna tell at least one person.
Uncle Fred been trying to hold that in from the family for 10 years.
You just know everything.
So yeah, that's to me. I'm kind of built on that. But what will get me to a space of vulnerability is the biggest thing is I realize that you want to hear me. When I realize that you want to hear me, that's like breaking through or dissolving that first barrier that I'll have up. And then once we kind of, I guess it takes a little bit of time. I'll get to a space where I'm a very vulnerable person. I'll let you know if I feel comfortable. Honestly, I do it on this podcast because I want to promote us being more vulnerable. Even though every time I do it, I be like, fuck, I don't want to do this. But if that's what we're here to do is to promote us being, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I say if that's what we're here to do is to promote us doing that more as black men, I'm willing to do it. But it takes a lot of thought even coming into these sit downs and talks for me to be like, I gotta do it because I want men to be more comfortable. And that's why we're here. But even on some deeper stuff that you all are more privy to, it's taking, all right, I see how he move with these people. Or I see how he move with me and interact with me. All right, I feel like I can trust him. Most people don't get that. It takes for you to show me how you move, and then how we can build a relationship for me to get to a vulnerable space with somebody.
Now, would we say vulnerable and transparent are the same?
At times,
Okay, because I feel like we do a good job of being transparent here.
yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say vulnerable.
Me neither.
I feel like that I try to be.
Let me take that back. I think you had more vulnerable moments
you
here.
pushed the line.
I feel like you had vulnerable moments here. And I ain't gonna call them out, but I feel like you've been more vulnerable here than us, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially
Yes.
in the way that you possibly reacted in your moment. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't even think you thought about the shit like that, because I thought you would, like, you get so wrapped up in a conversation, like when you're on here, that you just be letting shit out. So the fact that you even be like, damn, I don't want to do this, but I'm doing it. I didn't even know you had that in you.
I think if you go back and watch some of them, you'll see me like
hesitant,
processing it, and then you be like,
You'll say it out loud too. You'll be like, fuck it, all right.
But like, it's been a couple times I can see the hesitation, like without him saying anything. Like he almost know it's gonna create a certain level of emotion, and he'll be like, you'll kind of like a gesture to it or something. But yeah, I feel like he's had more moments on the whole.
He lie
through he will lie. So we don't know. We don't even know if they're real vulnerable moments.
But y'all don't forget, obviously.
We cannot.
Yeah,
we cannot.
There's certain shit that just
stick out.
You know, shout out to you, man.
Nah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. But for me being who I am, I still like to learn from like how you all have grown in your vulnerability or have shied away from it. Like, what is it?
I'll say this. I'll come forward. I think I've been more vulnerable lately. One, because of just the things that kind of happen in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, life will have you vulnerable. Like, in a sense of, like, man, shit start happening, and sometimes you find yourself talking about your shit and you don't even really want to talk about it. And
I was gonna say that with you.
You know what I'm saying?
There's been a few situations that I know, like, being around you, kind of know you, and you've talked about stuff that I was like, he would have never said this shit. Yeah. So you've definitely like changed a lot with that.
That tell you how comfortable somebody can be, because when you got that guard on, you stop yourself.
Yeah, and I've always been guarded. Like, one, like, because you never, you don't know how things are thrown back in your face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I can honestly say, like, life will make you start to have to talk about things, or you'll start to you'll become emotionally constipated.
So, all right, I just thought
nobody likes to be constipated.
The shit about throwing it back in your face. We've had conversations that we've kind of had to like throw back up. Like, well, nigga, you do remember when, you know what I mean? So
to me, in those moments, because of how we move with each other, I don't think it's a really a throwback in your face. It's a reminder so that you don't go back down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
that
an
becomes
accountability.
That's like accountability and a good friend not letting you possibly go back into a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all saw me about to go back and deal with somebody that punched me in my face before, y'all be like, hey,
remember when a nigga
she did put the
or
knuckles
like if
on your chin.
I said something to the team and then right after I finish, you come and say he's a fucking liar because he's goddamn like that shit. I'd be like, all right, B.
Yeah.
Understood.
So I think that is a little different.
Nah.
Okay.
I think
I'm
that's
just saying
different,
if that's the kind of situation that would be.
I think in those vulnerable moments where you really letting out some emotion and things that have bothered you, hurt you, scarred you, and then somebody like because you did or handled them in a way that they didn't really like, and now it's like, oh,
I'm gonna throw this.
Yeah, like, oh, bitch, because I know you be crying all the time. You like
you piss in the bed every other night.
Right. Like
told you that in confidence, man.
Hit motherfucker in the throat like that. You know what I'm saying? But
so I'm sorry about talking about your dad last week. My bad.
I'm sorry. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to my mama because she said something today.
I'm not gonna apologize to your mama. I'm gonna apologize to your dad.
Damn, she the one. My dad ain't see it. My mama saw it. Kick his ass. Mama can't wait.
I don't mind. She saw it.
I still don't apologize to your mama.
Nigga don't give a fuck about my mama.
I do. I care about her, man. I hope she's healthy and loving and all that kind of stuff.
But everything before butt should have been said. That was my granddad told me when I was little. Everything before butt should have been said. But I think, and so now let me ask y'all this. Well, no, you give me how you feel. Like, what does vulnerability look like for you?
For me, for real, if I could tell you anything personal, because I ain't fucking with nobody like on no personal shit. So if I could tell you anything that's personal, then that's vulnerable for me. Like my shit is real. Just
I feel like
I ain't.
So you don't have to tell me. Don't tell us what it was, but what do you think was your last vulnerable moment, or when was it? I guess more would be a better question.
I could talk about this. I think even with how I felt about the team situation. And that shit might not even seem big to you, but the shit was vulnerable to me because I wouldn't even give them bitches the satisfaction even knowing that I was...
You felt a certain type of way.
You see what I'm saying? So with y'all, I could let you know like how I felt about it. So yeah, even like that's a vulnerable situation to me because hell no, I'll get a nigga satisfaction even fuck you. You know what I mean? So I could talk about that one.
Something that came up when I asked that question earlier about how do you know when you're in a vulnerable situation. That conversation we had down in Florida when everybody left and we just went out to dinner and watched the game. I felt it in that. I think we both felt it in that moment, and nobody said like I ain't that. Oh, you probably mentioned I don't really tell people this, but that moment right there, I felt this is a vulnerable moment that's honestly bringing us.
Yeah, that's crazy you say that. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like that trip was like, all right, I fuck with bro.
Yeah.
Like on some not like we was cool. Yeah. But it was like, all right, this nigga.
Yeah. Cause going down there, I was like, I don't know if I could take somebody. You know, I don't like all day, all night. Yeah. But I was like, I don't know if I could deal with bro for 2-3 days.
No, I feel.
And by that time, I was like, I could do whatever with Brandon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was
Pause.
Hey.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about y'all vulnerabilities. Y'all can still pause the fuck out of some of these
over here
moments.
talking about him swallowing on the side.
I paused that shit.
You kept talking.
Yeah, I kept talking, but I paused.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Fuck y'all moment. That's how I feel about that. No. I think I had a moment in the car with Wallace too. I had a moment in the car with Wallace. We was
That's
having a
so
conversation,
funny.
man, and it got pretty deep. And like I miss a lot of my family members that have gone on home, and because a lot of them kept me in the road, bro. Like straight up, like I had a cousin that was like my brother, and like he did a lot. He'd be like, "Come on, B, like we know we can," and I'd be like, and like we might get off the phone like arguing about this shit, and then he'll call me back. He'd be like, "Bro, I ain't gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna just say I wouldn't do it."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like people who kept me straight and narrow, fairly straight, and maybe a good bit more narrow than I would have gone with, have gone on. I can like my grandparents, they instilled a lot in me, but if they hadn't have, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. Like I know a lot of stuff. I'd be like, I say this often. I'd be like, my grandma said, my granddad said, my grandma did this, my granddad did this, and these were the things. In the moment, I'm sure they was like, that boy ain't listening to a damn thing I'm telling him. But I took all that with me. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't listen then, but you knew.
They planted the seed.
Yeah, like it was definitely in me. It might not have been on me at the time. You know what I'm saying? My father was the same way. You know what I'm saying? He said some really. He gave me a lot of game on just being a man, and it was stuff like. And then we had and my father hadn't even passed at the time, but we was just having a conversation coming back from Charlotte that time, and I had a moment, you know what I'm saying, and I didn't necessarily see it as being vulnerable. I felt more transparent because it was a lot of stuff that I hadn't talked about with anybody.
Yeah,
about how I felt about people who I cared about. Like I felt like they were just leaving me.
What's the difference for you?
Vulnerability
and transparency.
I think vulnerable is more of a moment that I can't like. It's harder for me to revisit because I can have that vulnerable moment with you, and I may not be able to have that vulnerable moment with anybody else. Transparent is when I feel comfortable enough, I can revisit that with whoever I'm comfortable with. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to know because I think mine is a little different. Yeah. I think mine is it's really the transparency with emotion. If I have an emotion that's tied to, because some shit can happen that I never want to talk about again, but we talk about it, that's transparent. But if I got some emotion tied to it, to me that makes it a vulnerable moment. Something that I've been thinking about, something that I've been in my mind mulling over, and it's transparent, but it has that emotion tied to it. To me, that makes it vulnerable when we're having a conversation.
I think the emotion plays a part in my vulnerable, but there are times when I wouldn't necessarily say emotion was tied with it, but it was just I would rather give it now. I can give it now, and I probably won't want to revisit it. Not necessarily because of an emotional tie, but it could be other reasons. Like it may be a damn, like enough time ain't passed and this person may get mad and be like, you should check on Byron because he got this in his backyard.
Yeah, I'm revisiting that conversation we had, and I'm like, when I heard it, in my mind, I was like, I didn't know how to respond, but then two, I was like, I'm not going to bring this up unless Byron wants to bring it up again.
And I think, and I appreciate that one. But I also feel like I don't think I couldn't have the conversation again. I just think I never had a place to have it, to give it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because my family we don't really dwell on things. We have our moment. We toughen up. We tie our boots up and we keep moving. Yeah.
That's my folks too.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of Black families, right? And I think we have to get to a place where we're able to have those conversations, discuss how that made you feel, and then we can move on. Because a lot of times we never talk about how it left us feeling in the moment.
What does that look like in a real situation? Like, is it have to be a one-on-one, or is it like, shoot, we had a cookout and the whole family's here, we want to talk? Or because I honestly think about like what we talked about last week with you and your mom. You never talked about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, when does it have to be just you and mom, or is it like all of us, you, your sisters, everybody's together? Like, what does that actually look like to be able to do that?
I think it goes back to what we're talking about with the people who you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I'm uncomfortable with my mom, but I think sometimes the conversations and different levels of emotion that you offer people can make them uncomfortable. Like you said, like, I don't even know what to say. The one thing I don't want to do is have a vulnerable moment with somebody and you just make them so uncomfortable that they don't know how to move around you no more. I think that can be, I don't want to say scary, but it can be a scary
what the fuck
place.
Did you tell them?
But I feel like,
Damn.
like I always,
but think about how we talk about, like, if you talk about your romantic relationship, right?
Okay.
And you have a vulnerable moment with them, and you cry, like, as a man, you cry with them. They ain't never seen you in that space. If she's never seen you in that could make her uncomfortable to a point where, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, what do I do with my hands? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I hug the nigga? Like,
I don't know if I worry about if you comfortable or not. I feel like if I committed and understand that we're in this space, because it takes some shit to get here.
Yeah.
Then, like what you told me, I don't want you to worry that I was uncomfortable. I just didn't know. I didn't want to say something that wasn't the right thing to say for that situation. But I definitely want you to be able to feel.
Yeah, my knee hurt.
He got that pedicure today, boy.
Yeah, my knee hurt.
He left us, man. He went and got his feet done.
Yeah, we supposed to do that together, man.
Yeah, y'all niggas don't be making no moves, and my feet was down bad.
He ain't called nobody. I was ready to
3 weeks. I was at the 3 week mark.
About 6 months.
35 years.
I was at the 3 week mark.
But yeah,
my knee hurt bad.
Crazy.
I cherish, and I feel like I said, it's a sacred space so much that I didn't want to say something that might have been insensitive. Like even last week, something was said right after we talked about you and your mom that I felt like could have been taken insensitive. So my mindset is like, I'm going to cherish this like it's a baby, an infant, something that you got to take care of and be cautious of the little things that could affect it. So I don't want you to not think that I'm uncomfortable. Fuck that. But I just knowing from me, I want to take care of that because to me, that's how important that space or those moments are to me. Like when you give me that, I know as a man, that shit is fucking tough. And it's at a true core of who you are. So I want to take care of that. I think honestly, everybody should. When you realize you're in that space, take care of what somebody's offering.
I think one of the biggest things with the podcast, with us doing this, has been me being able to do that. Because if not, then what are we really talking about? Like, we talk this transparent, we talk vulnerability, we talk communication, we talk sharing, we talk all these different things. And if we just talking it, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, because there's a lot of people that's just talking a bunch of shit. Like, we know that firsthand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
and
a lot of people. Yeah, second and third. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's just talking that shit. But if I can't show you what that looks like,
for sure, then
why are we doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why I had my little crazy moments, because I'm like, why are we doing this if we're not gonna do it? We're not gonna show it.
And we had the discussion.
Appreciate that.
we literally had the discussion up front. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are we doing it for? If we're gonna talk sports,
not really.
It's not really gonna
forever,
it's not gonna work that well.
Yeah.
If we're gonna just talk, what is it, like shit we seen on the internet? There's a lot of people that's doing that and probably could do it a lot better than us. So I think we have to talk about these things, because if we're not talking about it and nobody else is, then how do we fix this? How do we fix men not being able to talk and share and feel okay enough to share and be vulnerable and transparent and communicate?
Yeah, all these things we historically have not been.
Exactly. And I feel like the communication portion is, I feel like it's the key. Communication and comprehension are the key to most of the problems that I hate to say this word, plague our community.
For sure.
Whether we're talking romantic relationships, we're talking relationships between parents and their kids, we talking friendships, friendly relationships, right? I feel like we struggle with communication. Like, you know how many stories I hear from my friend, especially my female friends, like where they just upset with another one of their female friends, and it's literally because they just had to open their mouths with them and told them some simple shit that's bothering them.
I ain't got no female friends.
And you better not. You better the fuck not. But like they're really struggling in their friendships, or they're, you know what I'm saying? Like they having these little internal battles because they can't shit. And like, I ain't finna tell her shit. Like, why not? Because you telling me and I don't want to hear it no more. Actually. But it's some simple it's some simple shit that they could have, like
that y'all just need to
talk this shit out.
I got two homies like that. I got a chance to talk to both of them, and I couldn't say like no, or I couldn't tell him like no. So I was like, bro, y'all just really need to talk. Just talk. It got so funny because, bro, it's so like bro, if y'all talk, this shit is simple math.
Bro, I think you gotta add, like when you tell people that, you gotta add parameters so that they're aware that what it needs to be.
But you even talked about you having a situation with one of your friends where all y'all needed to do was communicate.
That you smacked in the face.
You talk.
No, not that one.
Not one of my friends.
No, it's just talking about ninth
not no friends.
But when I say parameters, I mean like, because if I tell you to go talk to somebody, you might bring the same energy that you've been feeling against them into the conversation. So sometimes people need a reminder, like, look, say it to them like you said it to me. Say it to them with the detail.
This is the thing, right? Only one of them is kind of upset, right? But it's the person in the middle who's the problem.
I thought you was in the middle.
No,
we're going to add out and fix it for them.
Of their problem. I couldn't.
We got to
of their problem. And so hearing both sides and realizing what the fuck is going on, all I could say was like, hey, I talked to him and y'all really need to talk. Because I got this information and I hear your side and it's like, if y'all talk, y'all don't laugh
don't even have a problem.
Be like, oh,
it's not even
that's
a real
okay.
problem.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
what I'm adding to it is like he's comfortable to tell you like how he feels without being irritated with you. But it's different when you get in a conversation with the person you're irritated with. Sometimes people just need a reminder. Look, just say it to them like you said it to me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It may not be for your side. Yeah.
I said I do get that and I agree. But these motherfuckers can come and fuck
and just say it.
And it's going
to realize that it wasn't even what they thought it was. Yeah.
I got you.
But nah, you absolutely correct.
With the communication piece, I was talking to my niece this week, man. One of my nieces is she's pregnant, right? And
congratulations.
And her and the kid's father, she wanted him to do something, and I applauded her, and I kind of felt like I was like, damn, that's cool that she thinks that much of me. But she was like, man, Uncle B, like I got a problem, and she was like, and I really need your advice. And I was like, what's up? And she explained it, and I said, man, now that you said what you had to say, just step away from it. It's kind of like that whole, like, like we church kids, right?
Not you. He was looking at me. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you got to pray and let it go.
Yeah.
Right? That was literally what I was like. I said, look, I told her, I said, give me your favorite number. She was like 6. I was like, in 6 weeks, we'll revisit this. If he ain't did what he's supposed to do in 6 weeks, we'll take another step. We'll take a next step.
What if the number was 26?
Then 26 days.
Okay, all right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we can figure it out.
You smooth with it, right?
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Damn,
but
weeks.
We gotta figure out what's the next step.
Yeah.
And don't let this wear on you to a point. It's just like with the prayer. You can't pray about it and then worry about it because you haven't handed it over to him, right?
That's the hardest shit.
That's the hardest thing in the world, bro. Like the old people, like you got to pray and hand that thing over to God. Be like, I'm gonna just hold this part of it and let God work on the top part. I'm gonna hold the bottom part.
I'll be praying my hand on it, and I still be like, right, God, I know you heard me, but this shit fucking with me.
You like, I filled out a few more applications, guys. You want to put them in there with that one I was talking about.
Oh my God.
So
isn't that what you have to do though?
What?
The prayer without works.
Yeah.
So
You
faith
gotta
without
keep your
works.
hands
is
on
dead.
it.
No, but I'm saying don't worry.
No, don't worry.
Oh yeah, you
so
let the word
so
go.
the word
That's
you
what
take
I'm
your
talking
hands off
about.
of it. The work part is still there.
Yeah, the work part
you
gonna
still
be you still doing
working
what you
that
need
part.
to do to the best of your ability. But it's
the
like,
part of you holding on to it because you're worrying about it, because that's the only reason you holding on to it.
I got you.
It's like a ball, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to it because it may be too heavy.
You
for
don't realize that ball can float by itself.
And God can palm it.
Exactly.
Like God can palm the ball and make it move with it, right?
Ooh.
But if you're holding on to it, like how does he handle whatever it is? How does he handle the situation? Because you still got your hands on it. You can't fix it. You've already shown that you can't do it.
That's a bar.
So
That was deep, bro.
so I told my niece, I was like,
hey man, figure out when that was so I can make that a clip.
I said we'll
I got you.
we'll revisit it. You know what I'm saying? And what was crazy about it, when we got the phone, it was kind of like how I've been ending the show. Everybody mind clear, all hearts and minds are clear. She started laughing. She was like, "Yeah, Deacon." We got off the phone. The next day, his mom and his dad called her and was like, "Man, we so excited. We just got the news. Just let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like let him cook a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let him cook." And she was like, I said, "How you feel?" She said, "Like a weight been lifted." She just wanted this person because we was like, "We here for you." She just wanted to hear that the person who she wanted to be here for her was here for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we put you on, like, we about to baby the shit out of you. I'm about to rock your ass to sleep every night, whatever it takes. She don't even want her to do none of that shit. She want him to do it. You know what I'm saying? And until he did what was needed, she felt like it was like a weight on her. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I think we struggle. I think we all kind of struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? It's human. Like, let's just be real about it. It's human. But I think, like we were saying, the communication part, that was where all this went. The communication and being vulnerable.
I always go back to that.
Yeah, communication, comprehension, being vulnerable and transparent, and being able to ask for help. I think that's huge.
Recognizing that you may need some help.
Man, listen, that's been one of my biggest problems in life.
I said a lot of people don't recognize that they need something. Like you talking about fucking this wall up. That don't make no sense. But you call me if you need some help.
The wall is here, ain't it?
Yeah, but everything
I ain't made a move with it.
If you decide to, you gonna need some help. All right.
I'm just sticking 2x4s under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Play some twigs, some picks,
from outside.
toothpicks.
Yeah, you pick that bean that you're going to replace it with in there, all right?
I'm just put some toothpicks under.
All right, cool.
But
Boom.
I think that's a big thing though, asking for help, and that's always been one of my problems. But I'm gonna tell you this: if I ask you for help and you don't,
That's hard.
that shit like it's because I start looking at you like this every time I see you.
But it's not me,
and it ain't fair.
Yeah, because if they just can't, they can't. But it's still like you know yourself, right? And you got so much pride.
Man,
shit, and
I hate to swallow all that shit.
I don't want to ask.
I put it all to the side, and I
then
ask
you ask them if they can't.
It's
like,
boy, who?
Shit.
I can't do that. G. Like,
but
it's tough, but you got to get past.
I think you got got to get past
that.
Like this. From here on out.
Because if you couldn't, then I shouldn't feel some type of way. I just next time I ask you, I don't.
Yeah.
And people just really can't sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just real.
And if you're and if it's that hard for you, and you're comfortable enough to ask this person, that means you really, really, really fuck with them.
Yeah,
that's being vulnerable.
Yeah,
right there.
Absolutely.
And so you guys need to be understanding.
Wall up by yourself, but
need to be understanding if they can't, because like
I ain't doing wild shit. I ain't been vulnerable with this nigga no more.
I thought that was surface level, man. I thought that was easy.
Nah, I'll be transparent about my HGTV moment.
My bad.
And here he go.
What you doing
throwing it back in my face.
Hey, what Caesar did? Touch my palm.
Who?
Caesar, you talking about?
All right, man.
Planet 8.
I just want to get my respect.
This has been another episode.
That nigga Will, he was like,
I don't know what the fuck that nigga was talking about.
I know you talking about. I ain't been to the nigga
What
hand.
Caesar did.
I ain't that nigga friend. So what you call giving the nigga grace left and right, man?
Who?
You know who? If you doing this,
Yeah. All right.
the other person is giving you because he knew he was wrong.
Yeah.
So he was like, "We still friends."
So look,
That's what it means.
I
We still
realized
friends?
that I'm wrong.
That what it means.
Fuck
We
his
still
hand.
friends? Yeah. That what he should have did because he still turned it back on that man.
But I ain't gonna do
With
that.
that ape.
I ain't gonna do that though.
I know. Hey, so I feel like this. Whatever. I feel like it's been a good talk.
Camera one.
Do you? It's only one. Camera what? Camera what? Camera what? I feel like it's been a good
Is this
vulnerability
my
talk.
camera?
It's the only camera. I feel like it's been a good talk. Do you feel like there's anything you should add or you could add?
Nah.
Meant it too. Nah. Lip lock.
That's it.
You got anything you would like to add, brother?
Just a reminder, like when somebody, especially a man, especially a black man,
I know what he's finna say.
steps into a vulnerable space with you, treat it like it's a golden child, like something special.
And
bro.
do not throw it back in their face.
Yeah.
'Cause that shit is the worst.
Yeah. You want to get a man to shut down in a relationship, do that. Change the whole course of the relationship.
You ain't shit because you was poor when you was growing up. You ain't
And
shit
y'all
because
had
your mama
roaches.
was a prostitute.
Oh,
God damn, bitch.
Damn. I told you that. I told you that in a
Oh,
space
bet.
where because I felt like I loved you, but now
I ain't never opened
I
up and
wanna
told
clothesline
nobody.
you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that what she said to you?
Who? My mama went on prostitute. Kick his ass, mama. You got to kick his ass now. I don't know what
he
you
just
talking
opened
about.
up the damn WWF ring. That man said, "That what she told you?" I was like,
You gotta get the box.
"Got to." Trust me, they being ordered this week. Actually, give me the card back.
And we gotta get the one like in Creed. You gotta get the tire in there.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody can move.
But y'all the one said, "Nah, who was that?" Somebody, nah, both of y'all asked for the right.
Yeah,
The
we
right
can't.
glove.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
give me
need
the
two
right
right
glove.
gloves. Yeah.
That was
man.
kick my ass off that bitch
My
forever.
left hand,
Like,
my
let me
left
order.
hand.
Let me get
You
two.
know.
Let me get two right gloves. They like, sir, if you don't get your ass out of here.
Good talk, fellas, man. Appreciate
Definitely
y'all.
good talk. I feel like I feel like we've been doing a much better job of being transparent and vulnerable. I feel like we've done an awesome job amongst ourselves of creating safe spaces to talk. Because like in this time that we've been doing this, and in the time that we've been knowing each other, we've all gone through things, and I think we've made a safe enough space for us to talk about.
And he don't say that lightly either.
Yeah,
like we some shit.
Yeah, we've gone through things like we
Still going through them.
yeah, like we've lost family members, we've lost jobs,
We've gone through
we've
shit.
lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've lost, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's tough in itself. But we've also had our good moments that we share with each other. And people don't always share their good.
But even good moments can be vulnerable also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
it's a lot of shit. Even though it's good, you just don't want to.
You just don't share because it still got to be a safe space to share.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like people like it. I don't want to say it's weird to me, but people post their ups and their downs on social media. Like one thing I learned, it's balance. And I learned that in a psychology class. People who experience super high highs also experience super low lows, right? I know I'm kind of in the middle and I don't share a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Except sitting in the car, cheesing at y'all.
and that's a motherfucking cheese, nigga.
And that nigga be having the worst day.
Yeah.
Like, but I know it's tough for some people to experience though.
He'll
You know
put
what
a
I'm saying?
motivational speech up under that smile and make somebody else's day. So,
But I think we've done a good job of creating a space amongst ourselves. And I think the growth.
Wireless shorts today.
I think the growth
Let
with
them
us.
thighs breathe, man.
I think the growth with us is being able to take what we do here or learn here and take it into other parts of our lives.
Into the world.
And yeah, besides even sharing it with the world, but also with our world outside of us.
Yep.
And create those spaces, allow people to be vulnerable, but know that we're growing in our discernment and knowing who we can be vulnerable and transparent with.
Yeah.
So I know for us, I just hope that we continue to grow in all of those spaces, in learning and doing and growing. And I hope y'all doing the same thing, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, let us know your struggles with vulnerability, because I know we've all had them. What is your struggle and where are you now? You open to talk to people? Have you been hurt? Has it scarred you for what you feel like for life? Where are you at with your vulnerability?
Where are you?
Cool. And in the words of Sexy Red, shake that ass, bitch. Shake that ass for Drake. Now shake that ass for me.
Well, if all hearts and minds are clear,
Now they are.
We'll see y'all next week. We love y'all.
All love, man.
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I